I wish I knew.
Welcome back to My Husband is My Best Friend.
Comedian Lil Rel speaks out after Karmelo Anthony is found guilty and sentenced to 35 years.
Do ever you will please with this, right? And, it's not about how many people are going to be in here, none of that. I just have something to say, y'all. Like, first of all, we in an interesting time in the world, in our community, where you got to stand for something, right? Like, for real. Like you can't just sit there and act like these things ain't happening. And as an entertainer, my job is, for me, and this is just for my purpose and my job, I want to create things that inspire people, that,
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
that just gives you a moment to breathe, because there's so much happening in the world. And so, like, if I could do something to make you laugh, to entertain you, whatever that is, I'm going to create those things to do that for you, to give you some type of break. You know what I mean? This is why, I'm excited for Heist to come out July 24th in theaters. We truly need the support. It's an indie film, great cast. It's a comedy horror. So much from my directorial debut. And so just want y'all to support that. It's going to be one of those movies. But this is deeper than me talking about entertainment, because everything ties into everything, right? The last month or so, maybe a few weeks, so much has gone on, right? From, the conversations about the roast that Kevin Hart did, and, just all the other conversations that's happening around that. And then, with recently watching the young man who was 14 years old, his Rick Child, if I say his name wrong, last name wrong, it is what it is. He is this young man and is not guilty, right? After chasing down him and his son, two grown-ups chased down a 14-year-old, got him in the back, and left him for dead, right? And then yesterday, we find out the young man, Karmelo Anthony, is convicted of murder, gets a murder charge, and 35 years for self-defense, right? And one thing that's happening, and I don't know how other black people are seeing it, it's on you, however you see it, I feel like they really are playing in our face. When you think about everything going on with the voting, the way they, doing the redistricting and all that stuff, they are literally in 2026 playing in our, and this ain't me calling nobody out or anything like that, because I can only stand on what I stand on. But when you have platforms, and these big old platforms, these big old things, where you let people play in our face, it literally ties into the rest of this shit. Because when we're laughing at certain stuff, or saying it's cool to say certain things and do certain things, then it translates to the rest of this shit, where they like, oh, it's cool. It's cool to say, hey, we got an all-white jury for this case, this self-defense case, and it's okay, because guess what? They okay with people playing in their fucking face. They're okay with it. They'll find the humor in it. Yeah, they'll find the joke, because it ain't like anybody gonna check or say anything. And I'm gonna say this, like, this is. Look, everybody's not, including me. I'm not a political person. I'm not a lot of things, right? But I am a person that stands on my morals and my principles. And none of us perfect. I'm not saying any of that. That's not it. But at the same time, when you let motherfuckers play in your face, it translates. And so to only look at this, and the comedy community, especially the black comedy community, is in this split. The split is happening, right? Where some of us are like, and I could be real about what's happening with me. Cats telling me I don't know comedy, and you're not a real comedian because you're not defending this. Look, I do believe in freedom of speech. I believe you can say whatever the hell you want to, which is why, like, I'm not mad at Netflix. As much as everybody want to be like, cancel Netflix and this and that. For what? Because you can watch Netflix right now and watch the roast with all the craziness, and you can watch the 13th. They are giving out freedom of speech stuff like a crazy person. And at the end of the day, they like, say whatever you want. This is on you. And that's one of the only platforms I see really leaning into freedom of speech, whether if you got some racist shit to say or you got some things you want to stand on as far as with your community and give out information. And I'm not even lying to you. Like, you can watch the Tony Hinchcliffe special, you know what I'm saying? And you can watch Dave Chappelle's special. You know what I mean? It's all there. It's because it's freedom of speech. And so I believe in that. But also, what's a part of freedom of speech is if I got to check somebody or if I don't like something. You know what I'm saying? And we can't keep letting people play in our face, y'all. Like right now, we are a part of something historic that's happening. And you got to figure out what side of history you're going to be standing on. They are our young people. I have teenagers. Man, can I tell y'all some real shit? I was in a grocery store yesterday, right? And 46 years old, pretty successful. And the security was looking at me, right, as I walked through. And I'm thinking like, man, they don't see what I got on. Or, you know, man, do I look like I steal? Like, why y'all? I mean, it's crazy that just because of this, in this influential whatever I stay in, it's still that shit. It's still that. I'm going to take something that costs less than my watch. Not to be like, I'm just being real. And so, you know, guys, we have to stand on something, man. We have to. Like, I know everybody's different. I thank God for my family. I know I was raised a certain way, so I stand on things a little differently. Shout out to the Hatch Howery family. The way I was raised, no. And, you know, I'm not, and this is not calling anybody out of this, because let me say this too, right? I don't like the way, you know, even with, you know, just not trying to bring the roast back up, but like, all you people that's like, well, Kevin Hart was never funny and all this other shit, man, get out of here with that too. Because y'all supported that brother. And now that he's done whatever you don't like that he's done, now you're going to just be like, he ain't funny and did and blah, 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 blah. That ain't, okay, whatever. My thing is this, audience. You got people like me and all these other people that you don't necessarily support big time or show love like that does stand for things, that do things like that do create opportunities for others and do all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even look at it like that because we're not a part of the popularity contest shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's not about that. It's bigger than that. You know, at the end of the day, we got to stand for something, y'all. And I can still be friends with whoever I'm friends with, and we don't agree on how to do things. I'm okay with that. But at the same time, my blackness is so important. And what's happening now is insane. We have people who have marched, who are long gone. They were hosed down by dogs. Some of them teenagers at that time. Fighting for voting rights. Fighting for us to be seen. It's people that's been assassinated for what they believe and was without a dime. You know, black, we got to stop thinking just because we got some bread, things are going to change. Just because you are a millionaire and beyond a millionaire, oh yeah, you're good. Like Jay said it. I ain't black, I'm OJ. Okay. I don't know how we keep falling for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. You know, and so my thing is this. It's like we have to stand on something, y'all. We got to protect our children. And I get it. People love to bring up, like, well, the neighborhoods, you know, people, each other. Like, yeah, because it's all systemic. Black people, we really got to step our shit up. You know, I don't know how we still go to these stores, like for real. Now, I talked about the security thing. That's probably wherever we go, honestly. Like, you go to the mall, whatever, we always going to be looked at how we looked at. Whatever store you go to, whatever. Even some of our black-owned stores, it might be a couple of look at you like, hey, bro. You know what I mean? So it's not just about the ownership. But I'm going to tell you something. When you have these places, you know, in our neighborhoods, owned by people who are not us, that constantly harass us and we keep patronizing it. Come on, man. It's a reason why they were confident in that young man in the back. And that wasn't the first time Rick, whatever he was, did that or harassed somebody. They just couldn't bring none of that up in court, which is crazy. You know, this is we in a crazy time, y'all. And it does feel demonic.
Thanks for tuning in to My Husband is My Best Friend.